So what do you have to do to make the FBI's top 10 most wanted list? Well, generally, you're going to need to murder someone, and then you have to disappear such that local law enforcement can't find you. That gets the feds involved, and if you are wanted desperately enough, the government will pay a reward for information leading to your capture. In fact, right now, there is a $20 million reward leading to the capture of one particularly wanted individual. So who is it and what did they do? Well, you're about to find out. I'm Joshua Roberts, attorney at law, and you are watching Lawyer Up. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the current FBI's 10 most wanted list. We're going to talk a little bit about each person and what they did, where they might be located, and the reward for information leading to their capture. If you enjoy the episode or you learn something, hit that like button for me. If you got something to say, comment below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell so that you're notified every time Lawyer Up uploads a video. I love it when you guys share me on social media, and remember that all of these episodes are available on the major podcast outlets. So to introduce the topic of the FBI's top most wanted list, here's basically how somebody winds up on that list. As I mentioned, generally it starts with kind of a heinous murder. And then charges will be filed in state court, whichever state that particular event happened in. Then the defendant takes off and nobody can find him. So the federal government then files federal charges for the unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. And in doing so, it does a couple of things. Now, number one, it adds an additional criminal charge and a criminal sentence if that person is found guilty to compound the punishment. But more importantly, number two, it invokes federal jurisdiction, which gets the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, involved. And not that there's anything wrong with the local sheriff and what they're doing, but with the FBI, you have a more powerful law enforcement entity with a lot more agents, you have a lot more money, and with national and international reach. If the FBI gets a tip in North Carolina about something going on in Arizona, they can act on it immediately, where the local sheriff may take several days in getting in contact with law enforcement in another state. So the FBI most wanted list is how the federal government helps state governments catch the slipperiest of criminals. Now, you can look at this list yourself if you want to. It's at www.fbi.gov/wanted/top10. And we're going to go through the people who are currently on the list. The first individual we're going to talk about is Robert William Fisher. Now, he is accused of first-degree murder, 3 counts, arson of an occupied structure, and of course the unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. You're going to see that common theme running through a lot of these, and that's how the FBI gets involved. So William Fisher, Bobby Fisher, now not the chess player, this is the murderer. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, and his occupation was one of a fireman. He is wanted for allegedly killing his wife and his 2 young children and then blowing up their house in an effort to cover it up. This occurred in Scottsdale, Arizona in April of 2001. Now, Fisher is described as being physically fit and an avid outdoorsman and hunter. He is known to chew tobacco heavily. It's a nasty habit, but probably no more nasty than, say, murder. Fisher has ties to New Mexico and Florida and is believed to be in possession of several high-powered weapons. The FBI is currently offering $100,000 for information leading to his arrest, and he should be considered armed and dangerous. The second individual on the list is Arnaldo Jimenez. He is charged with first-degree murder and then again unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Arnaldo Jimenez is wanted for allegedly killing his wife the day after their wedding. That is the shortest honeymoon ever. That went from the best day of your life, or one of the best, to the worst day of your life in a hurry. Man, this guy goes from 0 to 100 real quick. He allegedly stabbed her to death in his black four-door Maserati, then drug her body into the bathroom tub of her apartment in Burbank, Illinois. Jimenez was charged with first-degree murder, and a federal arrest warrant was issued 2 days later after he took flight. Jimenez is believed to have fled to Durango, Mexico. Again, the FBI is offering $100,000 for information leading to his arrest, and he also should be considered armed and dangerous. The next individual on the list is Jason Derek Brown. He is charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and unlawful flight. Now, Jason Brown is wanted for the murder and the armed robbery in Phoenix, Arizona during November of 2004, where he allegedly shot and killed an armored guard outside of a movie theater and then fled with all the money. Now, this guy uses a lot of aliases and has a lot of different passports, birth certificates with different dates of birth. The problem with him is that he is extremely intelligent. Brown speaks fluent French, has a master's degree in international business. He is described as an avid golfer, snowboarder, skier, and dirt biker, and he also enjoys being the center of attention. He's been known to frequent nightclubs where he enjoys showing off his high-priced vehicles, boats, and other toys. Although he's intelligent, that part sounds pretty dumb. Regardless, Brown has domestic ties to California, Arizona, and Utah. Internationally, he travels to France and Mexico, and additionally, he's known to carry a Glock 9mm and a .45 caliber handgun at all times. The FBI is offering a $200,000 reward for information leading directly to the arrest of Jason Brown. He also should be considered armed and dangerous. Next, we move to Alexis Flores. He is charged with kidnapping, murder, and unlawful flight. He is a handyman by trade, and he is wanted for the alleged involvement in the kidnapping and murder of a 5-year-old girl in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The girl was reported missing in late July of 2000 and was later found strangled to death in a nearby apartment. The FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. The fifth individual on the list is Jose Rodolfo Villarreal Hernandez. He is wanted for interstate stalking and conspiracy to commit murder. He was new to the FBI's top 10 fugitive list in October of 2020. Now, Villarreal Hernandez is also known as El Gato. He is wanted for the alleged involvement in the interstate stalking and conspiracy to commit murder for hire of a 43-year-old male in Southlake, Texas. Now, Villarreal Hernandez holds an active leadership position in the Beltran Leyva drug trafficking organization in Mexico. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, this organization is a splinter group from El Chapo and El Mayo's Sinaloa cartel. There is a reward for any information leading to his arrest, and because of his connection to Mexican drug cartels, the United States Transnational Organized Crime Rewards Program is offering $1 million for information leading to his arrest. He should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. The next individual is Eugene Palmer. He is charged with murder and unlawful flight. He was born in 1939, so he is an older fellow, but he is known to be interested in auto racing and is a car enthusiast. He's also an experienced hunter and outdoorsman. Eugene Palmer is wanted for allegedly shooting and killing his daughter-in-law on September 24th of 2012 in Stony Point, New York. He fled after a local arrest warrant was issued and he was charged with murder. He should be considered armed and dangerous, and the FBI is offering $100,000 for information leading to his arrest. The seventh person on the list is Rafael Caro Quintero, and if that name rings a bell, it should. He is charged with all kinds of stuff: violent crimes in the aid of racketeering, kidnapping of a federal agent, felony murder of a federal agent, aiding and abetting, accessory after the fact, and a whole bunch of other crimes that were in connection with the kidnapping and the torture and the murder of DEA agent Kiki Camarena. Now, Rafa, as he is known, was born in Sinaloa, Mexico, and is considered one of the godfathers of the Mexican drug trafficking through the Guadalajara cartel. So Rafa, along with Felix Gallardo and Don Neto, unified the Mexican drug plazas in the 70s and the 80s under the umbrella of the Guadalajara cartel. They produced mass quantities of the then new seedless marijuana product. They also partnered with Central and South America cartels to bring cocaine and heroin into the United States. And as I mentioned, Rafa was centrally involved in the kidnapping, torture, and murder of U.S. DEA agent Kiki Camarena in 1985. It is a fascinating story, which is explained in detail in another video on this channel called The History of Kiki Camarena, where we explore not only the Guadalajara cartel's involvement, but also the alleged involvement of the United States CIA and DEA in the death of one of its own agents. So make sure you check out that video. Well, today, the Guadalajara cartel is no more. Its fracturing led to the Tijuana, Juarez, and the Sinaloa cartels, with the Sinaloa cartel being headed for many years by the famous El Chapo. The history of El Chapo is another video and another story that's also available on this channel. Be sure to check it out. But back to Rafa. Now, he was tried, convicted, and imprisoned in Mexico, but a glitch in the court system found him released from custody. The court later reversed the error, but Rafa was gone. It was too late, and today Rafa is alleged to be the figurehead leader of the Caro Quintero drug trafficking organization within the region of Sinaloa, Mexico. Now, Rafa is a huge fish. He was involved in the killing of a United States DEA agent. So the U.S. Department of State's Narcotics Rewards Program is offering a reward of $20 million for information leading to the arrest of Rafael Caro Quintero. Now, he should be considered armed and extremely, extremely, extremely dangerous. So dangerous that you shouldn't go to Mexico and start asking around saying, hey, I'm looking for an individual for the FBI. His name is Rafa, and I get $20 million if I find him. Because if you survive the conversation, you won't survive the afternoon. So let's just let that 20 million stay at the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, back to our FBI most wanted list, and number 8. And that is Badrush Kumar Kantabi Patel. Easy for me to say, right? He is charged with first and second degree assault, first and second degree murder, unlawful flight, and a lot of other crimes. He was born in India. Patel was born in India and is wanted in the United States for the April 2015 murder of his wife in Maryland. Now, recently married in India via an arranged marriage, he and his wife were in the United States on a honeymoon visa. He wanted to stay in the U.S., she wanted to return home, and Patel's solution to this was to stab his wife to death at the donut shop where they both worked. Allegedly, right? He should be considered armed and extremely dangerous as well. Number 9 on the list is Alejandro Rosales Castillo. He is charged with murder and unlawful flight. He was born in Arizona in 1998 and also has a lot of different aliases. He is wanted for the alleged murder of a co-worker in Charlotte, North Carolina. On August 17th of 2016, the victim's body was located in a wooded area in North Carolina with a gunshot wound to the head. The female victim's vehicle was located all the way across the United States at a bus station in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is believed he has fled to Mexico. The FBI is offering $100,000 for any information leading directly to the arrest of Alejandro Rosales Castillo, also to be considered armed and dangerous. And last but not least is Yasser Abdel Said, and he has been captured. He was charged with capital murder and unlawful flight. Said, who was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list in 2014 in connection with the 2008 murders of his 2 teenage daughters. Those girls died of multiple gunshot wounds on New Year's Day in 2008 in Irving, Texas. Now, born in Egypt, he worked as a taxi driver, but he was arrested in Texas on August 26th of 2020. And although he went to great efforts to alter his physical features to conceal his identity, the report was his affinity for wearing dark sunglasses indoors, his tendency to affiliate with communities with Egyptian ties, and his love for Denny's and IHOP food ultimately led to his capture. So that is the episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. We went through the FBI's current top 10 list of most wanted individuals in the United States. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button. If you got something to say, comment below. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. And remember, guys, I love it when you share me on social media. That's all for today. I'm Joshua Roberts, attorney at law, and you've been watching